So we're going to just have a little Q&A with these guys. So what was the most profound thing that happened on your trip to Guatemala?
That's a tough one to start with.
Yeah, I know.
Do you want it?
Lance.
Most profound.
Yeah.
Oh man. There was we were in this compound, which was cool because you felt very safe. But in the compound, they had an orphanage, they had an elderly home, and they had a baby clinic. And you saw the baby clinic that we were all in when we did the announcements. And for me, it was spending time in that baby clinic, which I did not think would be like impactful to me because it's just like babies, like. But for me, there was a little baby. His name was Robin, and he had a cleft lip. If you guys know that, it's like a birth defect. And it was the first. There he is. Yeah, the first time Lisa Matesi handed him to me, and I was kind of caught off guard because I've never seen that before. And then I tickled him, and it made him laugh, and it like opened up his lip, which kind of freaked me out at first. And then I saw him laugh and saw him smile, and I was like, that's my goal for the rest of this trip. So most days I would run down there and try and find him, and I was so focused on finding this kid, Robin, that I would like step over other children to get to him, just so I could hold him. And then I have this video that I've watched like 6 times since I've been home, with just him smiling and laughing. So for me, that's what it was.
My kid started crying, and he actually was like, I can't deal with you.
Yeah, I got my baby, kid, get out of here.
So Gabby, your family sort of spearheaded the effort for this trip. How did the trip come about, and what was the real focus of the trip?
So my grandpa, he is in partner with Hope of Life, which is the place that we stayed at. He's pretty known in the South American community.
Yeah, but by pretty known, this guy is like the Billy Graham of Latin America.
Like
they don't talk him up, but he's like this like super big deal. Why couldn't he come with us?
He's like the most well-known pastor in South America.
Yeah, he couldn't.
That's who Billy Graham is. Yeah.
He couldn't come because he was in Dominican Republic, and he was preaching to I think 70,000 people.
Is that all?
So he couldn't make it to our trip.
Yeah, he had some other stuff to do. But yeah, so we, my mom actually, we had talked about it with my grandparents, I think, like a year ago, because we knew that they were in partner, and their thing is Rescate Extremo, and that's where they like rescue children from the mountains, so they're in partner with that. So we were planning on going as a family, and then we thought, spur of the moment, let's invite other people, and the goal was just to work there and get to know people and hang out at the orphanage, and there was just so much more than we expected, I think, at least for me personally, and it was really fun. Yeah.
So it was a successful trip then, huh?
I would say so.
How many of you guys went?
11.
Yeah, and we weren't the only ones in this room that went. If you also went on the trip, could you guys raise your hand? We have these 2 girls there, Zoe and Emily.
Zoe and Emily.
Dave Wilkins, Sarah's husband, back there.
Stand up!
Stand up, sure. You guys are awesome. And then over here is Lisa with the red pants. And then John Bartlett, this tall drink of water. He was on the trip also.
What was a typical day like for you guys? What were you doing on a daily basis?
So we would wake up in the morning, probably between 6:30 and 7. We'd go down and have breakfast all together. And then usually in the morning, when it was the least hot time, we would go and work on the house that we were helping build. Help is a strong word. Yeah. And we had these gentlemen who had come to Hope of Life, and Carlos, the gentleman who started Hope of Life, had employed them. So they were doing the real hard work construction, and they brought us alongside of them, and we helped build a home that was going to be for a family that was chosen by Hope of Life to come and live there. And not only would they come and have a house of their own, that was something that they owned, but by coming onto Hope of Life and living in that house, they not only had that, but they came and had work opportunities. They had health care that they had never even probably heard of before. They had a church that was in walking distance to their house and a pastor in their community. They had an opportunity for their children, if they had any, to go to the prestigious school on base that we can talk about. And just so it wasn't just that we were giving someone a home to live in, we were giving them a whole new lifestyle to better them.
So you were profoundly affecting these people's lives in every way.
Yeah, it was neat. They explained that this is the first time that family will have something that's actually their own. First time in their life that they've actually have something that's just theirs.
Maybe, Kristen, do you want to tell us what was on the compound?
Well, in the compound they had we've talked about the baby clinic, the orphanage, there was also like a village. So when we say like this place was huge. Like I have been on other mission trips where they won't let you walk outside the hotel because it's so dangerous, whereas we were able to actually walk around ourselves to all these different places. There was also a home for kids with disabilities. So they had that. Am I missing anything else?
Elder care.
The elderly care, that's what started it all. So, and there was a school, there's building a hospital. So when we, like, imagine as big as Summit is. Like, that's like what this place was. Like, we could go and like serve in all these different areas every day.
I guess leaving was definitely one of the bigger, harder parts, but I guess also seeing a lot of the poverty and these kids who literally have nothing. They have nothing, they don't even have love. And like, to me, love is so basic that not seeing that they had love is like, broke your heart. Like, it was so sad, but the moment you saw them, they would just like raise their hands, like, pick me up, and it's like, well, of course I'll pick you up. Like, it was
I think that was very profound because there's an international language of love that you can communicate through hugs, through your eyes and through your smiles, that even if you couldn't speak the language, you could show love to these children and to these women and these families that they just weren't getting. And you think how much you take it for granted. I remember that's one of the things you said.